Good day, everybody. Vic here from V-Drive. Hope you're doing amazing today. Bringing it to you, 2025 Cadillac Escalade IQ, right? You heard it right. It's a first ever Escalade, which is in the EV form. It's a very powerful one. However, some of you may not be excited because it's an electric vehicle, because we're still not having the whole infrastructure in North America or all over the world for electric. But I can tell you this thing, you're gonna love this thing if you'll watch it to the end, right? First of all, let's just talk about how the front end looks like. I'm gonna quickly press the unlock button, check out the front end there. As soon as I turn unlock, look at these lights that turns on, all the side lights, the waterfall concepts, and of course these lamps just turns on as well. Looks really bad and bougie, as you can expect from a Cadillac, right? Very nicer front. It's a fully electric vehicle. For the extra looks, you have body match fender flares, right? And of course you have your 24 inches aluminum brushed wheels. Looks pretty nice. And if you have watched some of my other videos, I have talked about Sierra EV or Hummer EV. Just like that, you actually have a rear steering wheel as well. So the rear wheel steering wheel. So you can also do crab walk, and your turning radius is just as small as one of those vehicles that I just mentioned, right? Color of this, the vehicle color that you can see, it's called Flare Metallic. Looks pretty nice. It almost looks like a nice baby blue, right? But look at this. On the side right here, on the side note, I want to tell you this thing. The Escalade ESV, which is the extended version of Escalade, this is just about 4 inches shorter than that. And if you'll stand beside this as compared to an Escalade, it looks way bigger and beefier. It looks very muscular, right? And just like the Hummer, where you get WTF mode, in this one you have a Velocity Max mode, where you can increase your speed up to 750 horsepower and 785 pound-feet of torque. In that mode, you can actually push this vehicle 0 to 100 under 5 seconds, which is pretty cool. Let me just quickly open the front end of the vehicle so I can show you what's located in there. Look at this. A lot of spacing right here. You have a 120 volt, 400 watts plug right here if you want to connect any electronics. And if you ended up getting stuck inside the vehicle, there is a button inside that you can press to open up the area. And I can tell you this, if I'll actually just lay down here, if I have a little bit of less fat on my stomach, I can actually kidnap myself in this vehicle, right? But also pressing the button, I can get myself out too, right? So you can also do this and the whole thing comes out, or you can press the button on the fob and you can get that thing done too. By the way, that's a signature Escalade key. Come down to the back, I want to talk about a few things on the charging too. You have the high output charging available, and you can input 350 kilowatt of charging into this, which means you can charge 0 to 100 at 350 kilowatt just around that 40-minute mark. And if the vehicle is properly reconditioned, you can go 0 to 100 miles within about like 12 minutes. I have tested it just at the dealership, so speaking based on that. I was trying to close this area just manually because I have a bad habit of thinking it's just like any other General Motor vehicle, but I forget the fact that it's a luxury vehicle, it's Escalade. So I'll have to press this button and the whole button closes down because it's luxury, right? By the way, thanks to Wolf Cadillac Edmonton to help me borrow this vehicle. Obviously, I'm one of the salesperson too, and I'm a YouTube channel, so please don't forget to subscribe. I want to show you something. Look at the back end. It looks really cool. Nice LED design. You have radient sensors, blacked out bottom, flare metallic color, blacked out windows, right? There's a nice proportion of everything. And if you'll press the button twice, the whole thing opens up. There is plenty of space for an electric vehicle, and of course a short Escalade. That's the only configuration that you can get into this. If you lift this area up, you actually have your charger that you, dual core charger that you get with this, with a 240 120 plug-in. And since there is no spare tire, you actually have an inflator kit that you get with the vehicle. And just like any other Escalades, you have these buttons that you can press and you can drop down your seats, right? Just like that. And if you'll press the bottom buttons, you can also drop down your middle seats too, right? So very similar concept. There is plenty of space, right? And there are a few other things which I'm going to get into in a second when we go to the second row, right? But you have another 110 plug at the back, which you can use to connect electronics. And if you want to pull any trailer, there is a trailer towing hitch that comes right behind this area as well, right? So let's just get to the front seats real quick. Do you guys want to see something which is very luxurious? Look at this. So you actually have automatic doors. You just press the button, they opens and closes up. Now, if I will press this button right here, the door opens up. And if I will press this back, the door closes. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey Vic, if I'm standing right in front of the door, is it gonna hit me? Let's try it. I'm standing right here. I press the button. Did you see that? And if I'll move away and press this button again, it's gonna close, right? And it's soft closing. Did you guys notice that? I'm gonna try one more time. Look, check this out. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get back to the second row where your passengers or your kids or your parents or your, luxury passengers will be sitting, right? Nice camellia brown seats with the back in black accents. I hope I said it right. If I didn't, you can just Google it up or I'll just put the description in. Very beautiful seats. Look at the nice leather quilted with the stitchings and perforation on it, right? You can actually take on this specific area and you can show it to the viewers how it looks like. It's very luxurious. And since I was talking to you about the automatic doors, look at this. So if you'll face right here on the screen, so now look at this, my door is open. I'm gonna press, oh, wait a second, vehicle is not running. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna try to close this area by just pressing the button. Look at this. Because you're sitting in an Escalade, that's why all the luxury there, right? Very comfortable seats. You have heated options in these seats. You have a fixed glass roof, which you can see right here. It doesn't open up, it doesn't tilt or anything like that. But there is one thing which you can actually have in this Escalade IQ. It's called executive seats. With that being said, your seats are going to look like exactly like the front end seats. So your back seats will have speakers in the headrest. These seats will have executive seating opens up where you'll have tables where you can put your laptop or you can eat your food on. And you will also have massaging and cooling options in those seats too. The only downside of that package is, one, it costs $7,500, which maybe you can afford. Second is, when you have that package, the access to the rear seating is closer to none. So forget that you have a third row seating because nobody can actually get to the back because of the size of the seats, right? But let's get down to the front of the business so I can show you a few more things, what's happening there. All right, I would like to quickly mention this. Please bear with me with the beeping noise. So just on the second row and on the first row, you have this option where you can actually look at the screen and you can press this unlock or lock option for the door. Wow. You don't even have to actually press your, lock and lock option. You can just press this, boom, your doors open and closes. You have the rear camera mirror right here. Suede headliner, feels very bougie right here. There is a center camera mirror, which actually watches all the people at the back. On top of my forehead, I have acoustic mics that catches all the unwanted noise in the vehicle, cancel it out with the help of your performance speakers, so it gives you a very quiet ride. And these speakers help with the conversation mode. So if somebody's sitting all the way at the back, since it's a very large SUV, everything I'm going to speak from here, they can hear it at the back. So it's just created like speaker-like sound, so you can hear all this. You have extra set of storage right here. You have USB-C ports, HDMI, all that kind of stuff. You have your cup holders here. You have one set of wireless charger here. And there is another one for your passenger, right? And what do you guys think about these seats, by the way? Look at this. So obviously, rear passenger was beautiful. Front are even more beautiful because you have speakers in your headrest. This specific build have 36 Performance Series speakers. So if you have looked into any other GM product or any other like a GMC or a Tahoe or anything like that, which is not the higher end like the Denali Ultimate, right? They have way less speakers than this. So the music, the whole thing, you're gonna love this thing. So there is a lot happening here. I'm gonna try to contain all that. So on the side doors, you have this nice real wood, glossy look, looks pretty cool. You have heated cool seats and you have a massaging option right there too. Now, if you'll focus on my steering wheel, leather wrap steering wheel, there is a Super Cruise. If you don't know what Super Cruise is, we'll make another video on this. You can check out my other videos there too. I have a heated options there, Super Cruise option. And if you remember, I was talking about the velocity mode where your horsepower jumped up to 750 horses. That's the velocity mode right there. So it's basically like a V mode, but in the electric world. And you have 55 inches end-to-end screen, as you can see, with the AKG speakers on the corners, right? Looks pretty cool, looks really, really nice. If you have to even open up your glove box, there is a button for that. There's a little button right here that opens up your glove box, which is pretty cool actually. And on the passenger side, I'm going to start there. You actually have, you can look at the vehicle status here, all that cool stuff, versus the energy ranges and all that cool stuff, right? Your energy range is right around 740 kilometers when it's fully charged. And you can also connect an HDMI cable, which is underneath your center console, and you can play music in that area, right? Or YouTube, or Amazon and all that kind of stuff. The whole plastic is coming up, which we're not going to touch, but let's look into this area here. Look at this, right? There are so many little modes right here: sides, the rear, the 360 camera here. Where is it? Look at this. It's very high definition. Looks pretty cool actually. Now I'm just trying to figure it out. Where do I go from here, right? So you go to exit right here. You have these drive modes, and every drive mode you can do customizations. You can do sport mode here, you have a snow ice mode, and you have a tow haul mode. As soon as you jump to tow haul mode, if you look into my kilometer range, it's gonna drop, because obviously you're gonna spend more energy pulling a big trailer, stuff like that, and the whole kilometer range is gonna drop. And if I'll put it to sport mode, then you're gonna start to come back up, right? And in the my mode, you can decide if you want your steering in the touring setting or your sports setting. And if you select all of that in sport, it's gonna sound really nice. And the way you shift your transmission is actually from here, right? That's how you shift your transmission. I'm not gonna move this, or my manager is gonna kill me, but but that's something what you can do here. So right here you have the charging status and all that stuff here, and you do have ambient lighting, which unfortunately I won't be able to demonstrate because it's based on the light, right? Now let's come down to the business here. You have all these extra controls here, like a child safety, drive mode, even your lights that you control, it's actually from the screen itself, right? There is nothing you can do from the actual buttons, which for some people, if you're that kind of person, it may be a turn off for you, right? But yeah, you have the parking options here, you have auto park, motion sensors, and there is camera options which you can turn on from here. Doors you can lock and unlock. You can select the charging option here too, right? You can press the button and your rear outlet, inlet, where you plug your charger, it opens up, right? And you can press that and it goes back up, right? And you have camera here, which I already talked about, lane keep and assist, light controls you can decide here. So there is everything on the screen, which could be something that some of you may not like, right? And you can also control your volume here, and of course the settings for the screen right here, right? Since you do have inbuilt navigation with Google, you can also set that setting from the screen too. So you can throw the whole map right here or here based on your requirement. Now, one thing which GM did for all the electric vehicles 2025 and after, there is no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which I don't understand why, but this is something, could be a turn off for some of you people. But you still have Bluetooth connections, your map settings and all that cool stuff. But yeah, that's all about with the Escalade, right? I will definitely make another video on this so I can show you the drive mode and how it drives and how it handles. We'll talk about a crab walk and all that cool stuff. But for now, we are done. If you have any questions, please don't forget to drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. More and more fun content is on the way, and if there is a car that you would like me to review, please let me know. I would love to do that for you. Thank you.